What's up YouTube, this is Collect Pokemon and today I want to talk about average. Yeah, average meaning when you add up the number, you divide it by the number of numbers there is, you get an average. Now, what does average have to do with Pokemon cards and what kind of concept am I going to explain to you today? It's an interesting one. I mean, I do understand it, but it is currently what the common practices or a common practices with Pokemon cards, especially with the Japanese Pokemon card set. And knowing and understanding this concept of average will help you guys determine the idea of whether a certain set is likely to drop down in price or how far will it drop down in price. Even if there's a reprint, even though if it was a print to demand product. So without further ado, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into it. So the obvious set I really want to talk about today is 151. 151 has actually gotten a release on the second print run, and it seems that the second print run is orderable from a lot of secondary, tertiary retailer distributors. It's a very complicated chain and you really don't want to understand, actually you really can't understand who's the actual distributors and so on and so on. But I was introduced to an idea as to how Japanese Pokemon cards could be bought by stores. You know how in the English Pokemon card set, all you do is you ask the distributors, or the distributors give you some numbers, and that's how much you get. Well, in Japan, things are a little different. So how it works is that there are the same product, like 151. Imagine a so-called distributors have 100 case of 151. 10 of these case, they're willing to let it go at MSRP. 30 of these cases, they are willing to let it go at 200%, double MSRP. 60% of the box, they're willing to let go of it at 300%, 3 times MSRP. Now they will tell you the 10% at MSRP, if you want to order, you can order it, but you will only get 2 boxes. And the second batch, 200%, you can get 2 cases. And the third batch, you can get 3 cases, for example. Now what you have to do, you have to add up all the value, multiply by the numbers of boxes there is or cases there are, and you get an average. And so each retailer are simply having certain access to cheaper MSRP items, but at the same time, actually it's the same item, but just at a different price range. And because of this kind of like a tier system that they're doing, it is very, very difficult for a product line like 151, for example, to drop below a certain price range because every retailer, every seller have this idea in their head that they want a certain average. Because they know that if they sell it any cheaper, they would not have made an overall profit. And that is what is happening to a lot of these sets. We do see the reprint, but the reprint is not going down in price. A lot of people are telling me, hey, Collect Pokemon. Isn't the Pokemon Center made to order boxes are going to be released through September to December? Yeah, definitely. Now the second wave of 151 has hit, and it is at a time which is a week before the release of the next set, the Charizard set. And the Charizard set is even worse because I heard that the quantity that was printed from the first print run of the Charizard set is tiny. And because the Black Flame set is tiny, what we're gonna see is super duper high prices for that set. I'm expecting around $150 to $160 US per booster box right now, given the scarcity of this Black Flame set that has been going around. Now, with that said, when should you buy 151? I mean, we do see that extra release in 151. The price hasn't really dropped. It's still sitting at around that 130, 140 price range. Should you buy it at that time? To be very honest, I don't know the answer. I actually don't know. But coming from a personal investor or my personal perspective, I would definitely buy 1 or 2 case right now. I've actually just placed an order for another case. It is actually more expensive than the first wave I've initially got it for. But I mean, I would say it's around 10% more expensive than the original case I got it for. But I mean, it doesn't matter. To me, I think that extra 10% buys me the security of the possibility that this set actually will go up even higher later on when this second print run has been bought up. And even after the second print run has been bought up, we really don't know whether there will be more print run. It is at that awkward period where a new set is going to be released. And with that new set, with the new hype, how likely will Pokemon reprint this older set? Especially when the newer sets are also equally popular. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, "Hey, collect Pokemon." We saw, VMAX Climax, drop from like that 120 price range to around $80. Is it possible for 151? It is possible, but remember, after VMAX Climax was released, a lot of the sets following it were really weak set. The demand for those sets were very, very small in relative to VMAX Climax, and therefore Pokemon Company can actually allocate more resource to print the VMAX Climax set. But given Charizard is also a very popular set, and all the SV sets, all the early SV sets in Japan has been really hyped up, how likely is it that Pokemon will have the capacity to print or more of 151, just like they've printed with the VMAX Climax and also the VSAR Universe? And even with the VSAR Universe and VMAX Climax, we did not see those prices go back down to any closer to MSRP. They were still double MSRP pretty much. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't know how the market will go, but I would definitely invest in 1 or 2 cases right now when the print run is out there, when there are products out there and you can negotiate a better price with different sellers. So yeah, that's pretty much my take in 151 and how the Japanese market is acting in recent time. And I think that, like I said, the Black Flame Charizard set will be even more sought after right now, given the current situation, given what I was told about the set. I still have not received any pre-order notice with the Black Flame, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens later. That's pretty much it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let me know in the comment section, are you guys willing to buy some 151 at around that $140 US price range right now? Peace, this is Collect Pokemon. Bye bye.